Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Collective Podcast. Today, we're just going to have a conversation. Today, we're just going to talk about everything. And before we do that, a big shout out to our mentors in Sri Lanka, Bishop Kirby Delanarole and Pastor Fiona Delanarole.
Yes.
And our Wildlife Church. That's our mothership.
Yes.
And
so much of who we are today.
Yes, absolutely. So much of who we are, why we do what we do, is because of their word and their work.
Yes. Their life has been quite the example for us in so many ways.
Yeah, and we are grateful to be in this journey and to even do what we do, which is the Nav Collective.
Yes.
Right? We do this now in Goa, but we have a community all over the world. And to do all that and to be here, it's a testament to their lives and the word that they've given us. Why we do what we do, okay, is again, like you must have already gotten that sense from previous episodes, is to make this world a better place. And to do that, we need to go beyond our consciousness. We need to go beyond what we know today. To crystallize everything as what I already know, what I already heard, is a big mistake, because if you understand the way you're living or operating or working in life, you're going through every day learning new things, okay? But something that we don't pay a lot of attention to is the nature of reality itself.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The nature of this world itself.
Absolutely.
Or creation, right? And to go beyond space and universe and everything else.
And it's all nice and beautiful to say that I want to change the world and I would love to see the world a better place.
Yeah.
If I'm unwilling to change myself.
Exactly.
Because neither Vamsi nor I are single-handedly going to change the world. Nor are you or the people watching us. None of us can single-handedly do this.
Absolutely.
But we can do our bit by starting with ourselves.
Exactly.
And starting with ourselves means that we have to shed who we think we are to accept that which we need to walk into to help transform me.
Yeah.
And therefore, in the long run, eventually, if all of us get into it, maybe the world at large. Yeah.
And I love that you said all of us, because I think that's the key.
Yes.
Right? And we've taken baby steps, right, towards that. But all of us is the key.
These are baby steps.
Yeah, all of us is the key. And, if you really understand what one person can do, 10 can do better.
Yeah.
Right? And if human consciousness needs to raise to a certain level in one person, sure, he can influence another. Or he can influence another and she can influence another. But ultimately, if we don't understand that all this so-called individuals are one, okay, and with that strength of that oneness, they can impact more.
Yes.
We are missing out on the very essence of who we are, okay? To call humanity, I would love to think of humanity as an organism.
Yes.
Okay. I would love to, and scriptures do say body. The believers, the collective believers to be the body. And each and every part of the body has a different function. But they all come together and they'll work.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
So ultimately for that to happen, the first and foremost that needs to be established is love.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And to love another, it's tough because we already come prepackaged or understand reality to be prepackaged.
Yes.
And that is why you need to let go of what you know today. Good, it's a knowledge. You can keep it at the back of your mind to use whenever you need to use it. But the more we understand today that there is more, we now give a chance to another understanding, to another culture, to another tradition, and not try to force ourselves upon them, but we let them be.
Yeah.
And together we see now, with that love and understanding, can we work together to make something?
Yeah. I think at this point, we still draw all our information, knowledge, our opinions, even our identity from this very natural base level of reality, if I can call it that.
Very much so.
A system which feeds and thrives on pitting us against each other.
Absolutely.
And of course, we're not blaming any one person for this. It is just the way the system has evolved to be at this point, due to the collective thoughts, actions, and behaviors of human beings. And I think we can do better than that.
Yeah.
But the reason we are the way we are is because we are so caught up in our everyday lives with our little problems, and we're unable to see beyond that.
Exactly.
And weirdly and ironically, because I'm so caught up with myself, I'm causing more harm in the long run than good.
Absolutely.
Even though I would love to do good to the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I at the risk of sounding like a conspiracy theorist, systems are set, right? The systems of the world exist today to alienate, to make a person go to work all his life, right? To earn a living, to set aside something, to build a family, right? To do all this, it's all necessary. I'm not saying
Absolutely,
I have nothing against it, okay? And it's necessary. But in that process of doing that, we should not be consumed by any
we
one
get
thing.
caught up with it. Yeah.
We should not be consumed by work. We should not be consumed by money. We should not be consumed by that, or just to taking care of the family.
Yes.
Right? But we should go beyond.
Yeah.
And for that beyond to happen, we need to have a fair idea or a good idea of what reality is,
Yes.
and we don't know everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not to mention, yes, we
Yeah.
don't know everything. And yes, we can't change everybody. We can't do good to everybody. We can't care for everybody. That goes
Absolutely.
unsaid. But if we can shift our focus from me, how do I grow? How do I succeed? How do I make it at the cost of everyone else, which is how the system is built. The
Exactly.
system is built again for the survival of the fittest, where the weakest have to give up and go.
Right.
Okay, the system is built in such a way that we can't all take each other to this beautiful place of oneness and peace and beauty, where we all thrive and survive. There's enough to go around for everybody. But we've been taught
Absolutely.
that we have to grab what we can.
Yeah.
And that is a rigged system, I feel.
100%.
Yeah.
It is a rigged system, right? And today, if you just broaden your awareness and just look at the things that are happening, right, in this world, and you would find a lot of woo-woo, crazy stuff that is happening. I mean, every day there in the U.S. there are congressional hearings, the Pentagon being involved in what they call aliens and UAP and the term like non-human intelligence. The stuff that
It's
is
being thrown around
floating
quite a bit right now, yeah.
And this, even with all this understanding, and I know millions are watching, millions are hearing, but every day the first thing that we want to do after we get up and we have time is to go to work, is to make money. Okay, is to do that, is to do this. Yes,
Pay our
it's
bills,
important.
all of which is important.
Yeah. But I think we need to see it for what it is. This system is designed, created, so you work now for you, okay, and that's all that matters, right?
And you protect your own, but you're
and you
unable
protect
to
your
lift your eyes and see beyond that.
Yeah. From that place of you as an individual and your family as a unit, you would feel like you're pitted against the rest of the world.
Okay?
Yeah. In that position,
It's what we've been taught.
Yeah, it's what we've been taught, right? In that position, we are okay to deal even damage to or pull another to
Down.
put ourselves up. Okay, and that is a mistake, because if we're gonna consider all ourselves, everybody here as one unit, it's typically body fighting the body. Right?
Yeah.
Autoimmune disorders.
Yes.
Right?
And can one part live out without the other? Yes, I'm sure it can. But
Not
the rest of plus the rest of the body has to bear the load of the part that's not
100%,
there, or it's not
100%.
functioning at its best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, now we need to expand our awareness, expand it to a place where we need to first and foremost look at reality, look at everything. I'll say, nah, this is not it.
Yeah.
Or this can't be it. Okay.
There's got to be more.
Yeah, there's got to be more. Okay. And now
and based on the information that's coming in, there is
Exactly.
more. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Loved ones, right? And yes, a unit of loved ones can't be just 3, 4, 5. All right. It's okay if it is, but we need to go beyond that. Now there is a lot of research coming where what started out as a nuclear family, right, an individual unit of people that needs to work and thrive together, has actually alienated people.
Yes.
Right? And they found that people who grew up in a, let's say, joint family, kids who grew up in a joint family are much more resilient, much more loving,
Tolerant,
much more tolerant, much more than, let's say, somebody. I'm not criticizing one or the other, guys. We just want to expand our awareness to build smaller communities or smaller, small families coming together, making
Yes.
a big family. You can have your own space, you can have your own whatever, and boundaries are very important in that place. But today, we need to go beyond what is norm, what is real, or what we can perceive to be real.
What has been taught to us
Yeah.
as real.
Yeah. And expand our awareness to everything else. Because what do we know, right? We don't know anything about the oceans of this world, but we somehow get up and act and believe like everything we know is the truth, right?
And we desperately try to sound all-knowing because that is the armor we have to protect ourselves from our own worst fears and worries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I start every day on a note like, I knew till now yesterday was real for sure. Tomorrow is going to be real for sure, but I know nothing. Okay? What I know to be is just a small percentage of what I don't know.
Yeah.
So let me walk in life with that awareness. And thereby, what am I doing is creating a little bit more space in my awareness,
Yes.
in my beliefs, in my values,
Yes.
in my walk day to day. Little bit more space. In that space, now that is created, something comes in.
Yeah.
Could be in the form of knowledge.
Yes.
Could be in the form of experience. Could be in the form of another person.
Yes.
Right? And that is how Mercy and I today have built what we do, which is not just a collective podcast, but also our community. And we need to start every day, every morning with this question, what do I know? Okay. And also I'm giving the answer, not much. Okay.
Yeah.
Not much. We know very little compared to what we don't know. Even if you consider the planet alone, the mountains that we have and the oceans that we have, most of it still remain unexplored. Okay, but we still have books saying this is how reality is, this is how mountains are, this is how oceans are. And the more you expand your knowledge or you just everything about you and create a little bit more space of there is unknown in my life, that unknown now can that space that you created above the unknown can now give something else to come in.
Yes.
An experience to come in, a knowledge to come in, or another person to come in. And that is something that not just is a concept for us, but an experience for us.
Absolutely.
And Mercy and I, we've been doing this now for years, where because of that space we create for ourselves every day, individually and together, we were able to fit in people, fit in community which we created, or even this podcast that is happening, our child, or everything, our experiences. And it all started with saying we don't know much, but there is more
to know.
Right? And so we want to encourage you to do that as well on a
Right.
day-to-day basis.
Right.
In the not knowing, okay, in the fact that we don't know everything, lies a beauty that I experience every day and she experiences every day. Okay. And yes, beyond the dopamine fix of trying to figure this out, understanding that concept, this concept, we go to a place where, oh my God, we don't know. Because we don't know, there is much more to see, experience, feel, touch, right? And the moment you do that, what we talked about earlier, podcast, which is stillness, moment you go there, you will now start perceiving more. Okay, I'll just give you a simple example. You now can perceive beyond what your senses are.
Beautiful.
Okay, there is a small experiment we've done a couple of weeks ago with a bunch of guys. I put a photograph in an envelope, right? Closed it. Didn't nobody knows what it was except me, and all the guys are sitting there. And I just picked something up online, right? And we wanted to try it out, and I just gave a number as a reference for them, and I said, guys, whatever you feel, don't think too much, don't try to analyze too much, right? Just think. That's what we told them. And we started doing this thing, and people started to draw, write, whatever. We just gave them a small set of rules, right? Not much, like 4 or 5 of them. In that boundaries they designed, and we figured out 70% of them were able to accurately describe what was in an envelope. Okay, and people call it remote viewing, remote perception, whatever. But beyond the terms, I just want...
And Christianity has its own terms for it as well.
We call it the prophetic.
Yes.
Call it visions and dreams and everything. Consciousness, right? Today...
But the potential is there in
huge
humanity
potential.
to go beyond our 5 senses.
Our 5 senses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beyond our 5 senses. And I can give you many examples of what we've experienced. So why we are discussing that right now is so that now you can give your awareness that chance to expand a little bit more. okay, and to focus on things that you can't touch, feel, and see,
Yeah.
but they exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the way
But
the
they
structures
exist.
and the systems are designed around us right now, the way life is designed around us right now, it keeps us focused on our five senses.
Yeah.
What we see, what we touch, what we taste, what we feel, what we smell, and everything is perceived based on that. And so much of science backing this up, but most of us sometimes still laugh at the fact that we can go beyond these senses and perceive
Exactly.
so much more
Yeah.
there is to this world. And what's the point of it? To help us actually escape or go beyond, not escape, but go beyond and find things beyond the misery of everyday life that is sometimes some of our existences. Because
Absolutely.
relying on our senses keeps us miserable, keeps us divided, keeps us competitive, keeps us grabbing each other down so that we can climb over them and succeed.
Yeah.
But the moment we go beyond these senses, and because the system is also designed in such a way, if we can raise ourselves above it, we can absolutely establish acceptance, love, and justice in our little worlds,
Absolutely.
so to
You know,
speak.
and I love the word you said, escape, and immediately made me think of escape velocity, right? And for a spaceship or a rocket to leave Earth and the gravity, effectively, it needs to have an escape velocity. And I feel today we're coming to a place in the history, in human history, or even reality as we know today of this planet, our consciousness needs to reach that tipping point, right? Where we enter into that escape velocity, right? That means not just getting carried away by everything, but the fact that, you know, there is more, okay? More than I touch, feel, and see. There is a reality. There are dimensions and there are interdimensions. There are beings and there are interdimensional beings, you know, as much as woo-woo that sounds like. The more we give our awareness that space and try to engage with it a little bit more, and that there is a God above all.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
know, a personal God, and a God who knows you individually. And if you can just focus on that and let your awareness just attach to that, I think your consciousness will reach that escape velocity whereby you escape what we call the systems of this world, or
the ones that
matrix.
whatever we think that we are slaves to at this point.
Exactly.
If we need to escape that and find freedom to be our true authentic versions of ourselves,
Yeah.
I think we need to go beyond what we've been fed as reality. And when I say
Absolutely.
fed, I'm not just taking away responsibility from us, because we made a choice to live like that as well. We have made choices. But we can still make choices to go beyond what has been told us, to understand that there is more, which is again being backed by science.
Yeah.
And to know that what we have been taught is not all up in the air crazy stuff.
Exactly.
That there is so much more to discover.
Someone said, I think, therefore I am. Okay? Possibly true, because your thinking leads to everything else.
Yes.
But for us, with what we have believed to be, you know, you can say, I think, I feel, and I act, therefore I am. You know, because your thinking should lead to a certain kind of an action, right? And to turn that thinking into an action, you need to feel that your thinking means something. Your thinking is real or whatever. So essentially, for us going forward today, you think a new thought, okay, and you bring feeling to the thought, not like a made up feeling, but literally, if it's so real what you're thinking, it will automatically create in you a positive emotion.
Right.
Right? A positive emotion can look like joy,
Yes.
can look like love, can look like gratitude, etc. And from this place of your thought and your feeling coming together, you can now follow it up with an action, any action.
Yeah.
It could be anything in your life. And I have I'm very confident today to say that there will be a manifestation,
Right.
a result.
So what
Yeah.
he's talking about is the thinking feeling loop,
Right.
where I think sometimes, again, based on our past, we have a thought and we attach a feeling to it. All right. And sometimes those feelings are based on what that particular thought had led to in the past.
Exactly.
So if we get a thought, let's say I think of a cat, all right, and maybe in the past I have been wounded by cats.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so now when I think of a cat, I automatically think fear,
Exactly.
all right, or disgust, or I just want to keep myself away from it. Now, how is that ever going to help me in the long run? Because I'm approaching life from a place where my feeling determines the outcome because I've attached that feeling to my thoughts.
Exactly.
All right. And now science is showing that my thinking feeling loop manifests as my reality.
Yeah.
All right. So if I instead think of a cat and I feel happy or joyful or whatever positive, or curiosity or whatever positive emotions you can attach to it. All right. Not only is the cat going to be okay among other things, but I'm going to be okay. Right. And my tolerance and my acceptance of another creature or another situation and my resilience therefore increases.
Absolutely.
All right. And when my capacity and my resilience increase, I can do so much more for me and for the world around me. And that also includes changing things that I don't like happening around me right now. All of us have things that are happening around us that we don't like.
Exactly.
Okay. And we're unable to change our circumstances or our situations because we have a pattern going on in our heads. This thought is attached to this feeling is attached to this thought, and therefore that manifests in my life.
Absolutely.
But if I'm able to break that, and if I'm able to go beyond my senses and now change my feeling to the thought that comes, or change the thought to the feeling that it produces.
Absolutely.
All right? Change the pattern of how I believe and what I think and what I feel, then I can change the outcome of what I have around me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the potential to be, to do, to create increases.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so today, like we were just talking, the potential that we all have is much more than what it is, what they say it is, what is written as is.
Yeah.
But if you really understand, the potential is huge, and you start in that narrow space.
Yes.
Between the known and the unknown. Okay. Between the seen and the unseen.
Yeah.
Between the heard and the unheard.
Yes.
Right. And if you can just squeeze in there a little bit, you don't have to squeeze yourself, but just your awareness and your consciousness there.
Yes.
I think you'll find stuff, interesting stuff to go beyond.
I mean, something as simple as having social media around us, or with the advent of AI for now,
For sure.
we are not really, and nothing is bad, really. All of this can be used for our benefit and for, to make the world a better place. But none of us are really sure, for example, whether what we receive as information is real. Is it misinformation? Is it disinformation? Is what we are seeing real? What we are hearing is real?
Yeah.
Thanks to media and so many other things. None of us are really sure of what reality is. If you actually sit and think about it, I doubt if any of us really know whether what we are seeing or hearing is true or not, do we?
Exactly.
We just mostly assume things based on our understanding and our patterns and our perceptions, and we think that is the truth.
Exactly.
But do we really know? No. All right. And why is that? Because we're depending on purely our senses to take us through this.
Correct.
And our senses are beautiful. We need them. In fact, we can't function or survive or live without them. But we need to align that with something much deeper that is already there within us. All right. And which again, and that's why I keep stressing, studies are showing again and again that this world exists beyond the five senses of a human being.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
And if we can push beyond that,
Yeah.
there is so much more wonder, so much more creativity, so much more passion and motivation for life. And life can thrive where we think that everything is dying and getting destroyed, and what
And
could
times
feel hopeless around us.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. And we are saying all these things because today we understand that there is more. Okay. And that God has given us a place. Okay. It starts with, of course, in our minds, right? In our consciousness, given us a place that we can go beyond, move beyond, and judge and discern the things of the natural things of the world. Okay. And that is why we're saying
judging is beautiful.
Judging.
But,
Judging doesn't mean like
accusing.
Accusing. It's like deeming it right or wrong. From
Calling,
a higher place.
Yes.
Right? Not from your senses again. Okay. From a higher place. Calling things for what they are.
Yes.
Like,
and when we say a higher place, we could mean your intuition, for example, your instincts, for example.
It starts with that, for sure, and like,
it starts with that.
Yeah,
yes.
it starts with that. Like, because like she just said, there is a lot of things floating around. What is real? What is true? Some of those things keep us from entering that escape velocity that we talked about.
Yes.
Okay. And to escape that, what we need is a deeper sense of awareness. Okay. And the more we go beyond the senses, when we come into that place of stillness and we understand that God wants us to be there.
Yes.
From the place, you can see BS and call it BS. And now you're not led by what you're reading and touching and feeling, but you just know intuitively, like she said, begin with instinctively, that something is off here. And when you do that, the next will be revealed.
Yes.
And the next will be revealed.
But I think everything should come in a framework. So even our intuition and our instincts, for example, should be led by love. And I'm saying should only because it will destroy me if I don't walk in love, for example. So if I'm intuiting something about Vamsi, for example, and if I go at it all accusatory and self-protective and trying to put him down, that's not going to work in my favor nor in his favor.
Exactly.
All right. So intuition is a beautiful thing. I know all of us believe in gut feelings, for example. How many times have we sensed stuff and that has worked out? I'm sure everyone has had at least one example or an experience in their life where that has worked out. So we can't really dismiss all of this.
Right.
But yes, everything needs to have an order and a structure to it for it to be effective and functional. And that is where subjects and concepts or experiences like love and stillness come in. That is also where working together with others come in, because we will sharpen each other as we work. He will be able to point out where I'm wrong or where I'm going off track in my walking in the higher senses.
That's right.
And I will be able to show him that. So we need each other to do this. None of us can do any of this alone.
And the both of us need others to do that as well. And, essentially that's what we need to do, and expanding our awareness beyond one person at a time.
Yes.
To build a larger community.
Yes, and of course, my biggest leader is going to be my conscience, led by the spirit that I believe in.
100%.
And but sometimes when I'm not sure what my conscience is telling me, maybe because I'm overwhelmed by what's happening in the external, maybe my senses have overwhelmed me and I'm not able to listen. That is where I said others come in handy, like mentors and friends and our community and our companions.
And how grateful we are for people like that.
Yes, in our lives.
And for each other, for you guys who are watching us there, and our community and our families, everything. And, guys, we are having this conversation at the hope that we can do more and we can be more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the whole point of this was to sort of help us be aware that we don't have to be subjected to this little world that we see around us, which is touch, feel, see, but that there is more.
Exactly.
And maybe if we open our eyes, or at least our mind, to the possibility that there is more, then maybe we will experience that more.
Absolutely.
And maybe if you're not happy with the situations and circumstances around us, or the people around us, or anything else around us, maybe opening our eyes and our mind to the possibility of more will help solve those issues, will help transform those issues, will help probably make the world a better place, like we love saying. All right. So let's not say no to the possibility of that. Let's learn to operate outside our five senses. And there are so many tools that we can use. The world is full of information and knowledge that we can use to help us overcome our traumas, our understandings, our past, our patterns, our selfishness, our toxic individualities.
Absolutely.
To overcome all of that, there's so much help available. But if we can take that help and sort of push ourselves and make that choice for a different reality, both of us truly believe that the world will change, that things can get better, that there is hope, that there is hope for humanity and for more beyond what we can see and know right now. Because humans, I don't personally believe, are the only species here as the top of their game, at the top of their game. So on that note, we'll say bye for now and catch you on the next episode. It was lovely discussing this with you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And we'll talk more. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Let us know what you would like to hear from us or want us discussing. Looking forward to hearing from you.